Hello, I'm Carl Stabe, and today I have Dave Garrison, the author of The Buy-in Advantage. And this is the 5 Minute System segment. Thank you for being here. And what's your 5 minute system segment?
So, Carl, as a leader, and I bring a couple of decades experience as a CEO, somehow along the way, we're taught to believe that we're supposed to have the answers. And that really works against us. So, one of the systems that works for highly effective organizations is collective genius. It's based on the simple principle that all of us know more than any of us, because you, me, everybody's got blind spots, and we only know what we know. But what if there were a way we could combine what everybody knows to come up with better options and better answers? And that's a collective genius process or system. And so it works pretty simply. If you've got a great idea as a leader, and we all do, don't fall into the trap of coming into your team and saying, "Hey, team, I've got a great idea. What do you think?" Because you've already poisoned the well to tell them you've identified that as a great idea, and all you want is their reaction. Much more impactful is for you to do the thinking work, back up and ask yourself, what issue is this great idea addressing? And how do I know it's a great idea? So if you'll ask yourself, what specific problem is this addressing? And how do I know what lights me up about this idea? Oh, well, at one, two, three, four. Now, when you go into your team, don't say, "Here's my great idea." Instead, say, "Here's the problem I've been thinking about. And I think if we could come up with a great solution, it would meet the following criteria. It would meet the following criteria." And that's the checklist in your head. And ask people, what other items are on the checklist in your head I might have missed? So collectively, we're tapping into the genius of what great would look like. And then, and only then, the system is asking people to brainstorm, given a very specific problem we're trying to address, and given the criteria of what great looks like. Then let 1,000 flowers bloom, do the brainstorming, and you'll come up with much better ideas than the one you ever had. And you can offer yours, but offer yours last, because in the book we say leaders go last. Now,
Mm.
one other caveat: do not fall into the trap door. I am enthusiastic about my ideas and I want to solve it right now, and I'm urgent and I want to do it right now. Do not fall into the trap of getting agreement on the specific problem and the criteria and then asking people to brainstorm just then. Because what we know about the human condition is about half of us process stuff overnight. So if I ask the question now and come up with an answer right now, I'm going to lose the thinking of half the people in the audience. So the collective genius process, as it's applied to problem solving, is: let's agree on a specific problem we're trying to solve. Let's agree on the criteria. What is the checklist in our head? What does great look like? And let's agree on those 5 or 6 criteria. And then, and only then, say to the team, "Okay, do some brainstorming on your own." And hang on a day and have people come back in and list their brainstorms with no discussion necessary. List all the brainstorm ideas, no
Mm.
discussion necessary. And people go, "Whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean no discussion? We want to debate the ideas. We love to debate." And that's what wastes time. People can bring their
Mm.
own experience, their own intelligence to that meeting, and then just vote. Just give everybody 5 votes and say, "Look, place your 5 votes against all these ideas, and let's see what our collective genius shows." Not what's the best idea by debate, or who's got the biggest title or the biggest ego or sucking up to the executives. Let's just vote without discussion. 5 votes, place them any way you want. 3 on 1, 1 on 1, 1 on 5. You place the votes, and what we'll do is we'll see the collective genius process at work, because the idea that gets the most votes is the one we ought to discuss, not all the ideas, because discussing all the ideas is a waste of time. Or starting the discussion with one idea and then we debate that idea is also a waste of time. We don't have enough time for that. So collective genius process, specific problem, criteria, allow time to brainstorm, list all the brainstorm, vote on the brainstorm ideas using collective genius process, cumulative voting, and then, and only then, begin a discussion on how will we bring that to life. That is the
Mm.
collective genius process.
I love that. And I love the giving them a day because when you sleep on something, you're right, the brain works in the background. That's so smart because often you do a workshop, you have this, and then in that workshop, this is the idea. But all of a sudden, if you allow people to sleep on it, you're like, wait, well, that part, no, that didn't quite make sense. And then you really get to the core of the issue and what the real solution or the best solution could be.
Sure. And we call that, it's also when you make a decision, we call that second eyes. So it's also, if it's a really important decision, just do a quick check in a day later and say, hey, did anybody have any additional thoughts? Are we good with this?
Mm,
Because if people have withholds when they walk away from a decision, it's not likely to go well. And then when it fails, they'll go, well, that wasn't my idea. That's not what I
yeah.
thought. So we need to
Yeah. I
prevent.
didn't vote for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But when we all have a chance to share our ideas without any judgment, because we're just listing them up, then people will buy into whatever idea we collectively came up with and voted on because our voices were heard. When your voice is heard, you are much more likely as a human being to say, yeah, that's what we came up with,
Mm,
as opposed to, nah, it wasn't my idea. I'm taking my ball and going home.
yeah. I love that. That's beautiful. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl.